What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Praise.
And your nigga A1.
Back at it with another video, guys. You know what I mean?
You know it.
Yes, sir. We said we're coming back, my nigga. We said we're coming back and we're back again, my nigga.
Back on this bitch.
Yeah, bro. So today, my nigga, you know for sure, bro. It ain't nothing. We ain't ever lacking, bro.
Never.
We always got some shit on us. So yeah, man. Without further ado, you already know what the video is about, man. There's no reason for us to even like elaborate on that shit because you already read the title. That's why you clicked on the motherfucking video. You know what I mean? So just sit back, smoke something, enjoy the fucking video, learn something. You know what I mean? So let's light up this joint before we talk about the topic in hand.
Today we're talking about CHS, Cannabis Hyperemesis Syndrome. What is it? Well, let's talk about it.
How do you get it?
Let me tell you, my niggas, because I keep you with that info you want to check. I keep you, with that shit that you need. I'm a plug, whatever drug you need.
So just like last time, my niggas, you know what I mean? We're just gonna go in with the segments and break it down slowly, so y'all can easily understand that shit. So you can prevent yourself from actually getting that shit. And we're gonna also share some experiences of our own. You know what I mean? If we had that shit before, or what happened?
And do not forget to hit the like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I'm telling you, segment 1.
What is cannabis hyperemesis syndrome?
So, cannabis hyperemesis syndrome.
Syndrome, my nigga, yeah.
Damn, my nigga, you blown that shit. So, hyperemesis means frequent vomiting, Yeah. So, the whole point of this, it is a condition whereby a person who keeps on smoking marijuana, and that ends up being a long-term effect to the point now you start vomiting, you got abdominal pains, my nigga, like being too nausea. Now you gotta visit the hospital. Yeah. Now you got the hospital checking up on you, my nigga. Like there's something fucked up with your system, my nigga.
It's just like a condition that you get like from long-term smoking of cannabis, you know what I mean? That's what they say, that's what like the scientists are saying, presumably, you know what I mean? But like as more we go through the video, we're gonna like break down and debunk our own theories on the situation, you know what I mean? And what our thoughts are. So yeah, let's go on the next segment of this shit. Since you already know what hyperemesis syndrome is, let's go to the next one. Okay, sure. Cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, right? Cannabis hyperemesis syndrome affects people who use cannabis frequently, you know what I mean? So severe nausea and vomiting are like symptoms of that thing, right? So you have a higher risk of developing hyperemesis syndrome if you use cannabis at least once a week.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Once a week. That's what they're saying, man.
Once a week.
This is just information that we got from Google. Some research, you know what I mean?
We're not trusting it, but hey, we don't give a fuck.
Like I have my own theory on this shit, but we're gonna share them throughout the video, you know what I mean? Okay, so your risk is also high if you have used cannabis since adolescence, like since your teenage age, if you use cannabis throughout those times, you have higher risk of getting this thing, you know what I mean? The only way to cure this thing is to stop cannabis.
Obviously.
Completely. That's what they say, bro. That's what they say. You know what I mean?
Like nigga, take a walk or something.
At least, bro. At least take a walk or something and try that first and see what's gonna happen with that shit. Okay, sure. How common is hyperemesis syndrome? You know what I mean? Once a small portion of people who regularly use cannabis developed hyperemesis syndrome. Because hyperemesis syndrome is newly discovered condition, like this shit is new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wait.
And not many people are actually reporting it, because they do not know what's wrong with them.
Wait. Can this turn out to be a serious disease though?
That's what they're saying. They're saying it's a serious thing, bro.
And it can be like a coronavirus shit that we go
No. It does not. You cannot like pass it to somebody. The only way that you get this thing is by consuming cannabis like a lot.
But then we'll be dead having a virus of weed. Everybody that can stay home and smoke weed.
No, bro. The cure is not smoking weed, fam.
But like imagine if we had like a disease like that and then choose to smoke weed, stay home and smoke weed.
They'd be lit, bro. I can't lie, they'd be lit. So yeah, let's go through it, man. So this condition, guys, is fairly new. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are like reporting cases because they do not know what the fuck is up with them. You know what I mean? So it is not reported. So they misdiagnose this shit many times. Sometimes they call it like appendicitis, you know. Some people think that they have appendicitis and shit like that because it has like similar symptom, you know.
Picked up 18.
That cranberry is hitting, bro. I can't lie. So yeah, it's that type of issue. You know what I mean? People are misdiagnosing that shit, thinking that it's a totally other different disease or a totally other different condition, without really knowing what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? So what really causes hyperemesis syndrome? You know what I mean? Experts don't really exactly know what causes this shit. This is what I mean. They don't know what causes this shit. But now some people are already blaming it on like excessive consumption of cannabis. But how many people are consuming cannabis on a daily? And
probably like more than
for the rest of their lives. And they never got nothing like this, you know what I mean? So experts really don't exactly know what the fuck causes this shit. Some researchers suspect genetics. You know what I mean? It could also be genetics that's causing this shit. So
genetics?
Yeah.
So you can fall down a bloodline. Let's say if your family been smoking weed.
No, it's not even about smoking weed. Like maybe some of your genes are like not receiving the cannabinoids as well, you know what I mean? So you get the reactions and shit, like they get overloaded. You see what I mean? So yeah. So genetics can be like, some expect some genetics to be the causes of this thing. Others believe it may be caused due to overstimulation of your endocannabinoid system. You know what I mean? The network of cannabinoids in your brain, in your body, you know what I mean? All that thing. So what are the symptoms of this thing? As we've said already, man, like nausea, stomach, abdominal pains,
vomiting,
excessive vomiting,
and being dehydrated, right?
Dehydration, no, those are the like most common symptoms that you can get when you have that thing. You know?
Imagine you're so dehydrated, it's like in sorry, there's a juice all there.
Bruh, you gotta drink yourself some cranberry juice, bro.
No.
This should be hitting different, bro.
Stay fresh, my nigga.
Okay, sure. How is cannabis hyperemesis syndrome diagnosed? Your health provider diagnoses CHS based on the symptoms you have. So my nigga's gonna go through that shit.
Okay. How is cannabis hyperemesis syndrome diagnosed? Let's go through it. Are you ready? Ready or not?
I'm sure my niggas is ready right now, dog.
We're about to go now. We don't give a fuck if you're not ready. We're going. Okay, listen. Your healthcare provider diagnosed CHS based on your symptoms. If you're vomiting frequently, tell your provider about substances that you can use, including cannabis,
Yeah, that you use, bro.
Yeah.
It's important. If you're drinking alcohol, you should say that, because sometimes alcohol also promotes nausea and vomiting and dehydration as well. So,
Nah, not being dehydrated, bro.
You can be dehydrated, but because you're not drinking water when you're drinking like.
Nigga, I be lit, nigga.
You see, during December periods, niggas is not drinking water.
Nigga, I be lit.
Niggas thinking that drinking alcohol is actually like drinking water. That shit
if you drink water before you drink, you won't have like.
It's a hangover.
Yeah, you won't.
You know what hangover? What is called? What causes the hangover in the first place, dog? Dehydration.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you don't be like dehydrated like
you be dehydrated, bro.
Not the same way that you be when you be smoking weed.
Bro. That dehydration comes from vomiting a little, dog. So when you vomit a lot, you get dehydrated.
My nigga, just let me read. Listen. How often you use cannabis? Like how many times in a day? How many times in an hour? You got niggas that be smoking weed in the morning, smoking weed at lunchtime, smoking weed at night. That's 3 times. Then you got people like me who smoke weed every minute. I'm joking. But I smoke weed every minute.
My niggas are using cannabis in this bitch.
How long you been using that shit?
But we all smoking weed like crazy in this bitch. So hey,
how long you been using that shit? Like how my nigga said, if you started as a little baby, as a little blackie, you feel me?
Some niggas started at 12 years old smoking weed. You don't know what's happening. We don't know, man.
Some of us, we started in high school, man. I played in high school. When you vomit or feel like nausea sometimes, you gotta tell them, be like, yo, this happened. I vomited blood or whatever. I vomited this.
Nah, but you won't be vomiting blood when you have CHS. That's only if you have like
blood
TB or something like that, bro. Yeah. Some TB, blood.
Coughing out blood.
Tuberculosis. Tuberculosis.
I know, my nigga. My nigga, I still say that shit, nigga, I was not that. And then you got other factors such as food, that lead to vomiting, like the type of food that you eat.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe you're allergic to something, you know what I mean? That could cause that type of thing, you know what I mean? How can you cure CHS, okay? This shit says like the only way that you can actually cure or stop CHS is to actually stop just using cannabis overall, you know what I mean? Hot baths sometimes also can relieve the nausea, you know? But also be careful when taking hot baths. Don't take them too regularly because they can like trigger your dehydration and shit like that through the sweating, right? So you may use these treatments right after you've quit like smoking weed, just to like balance everything out to make sure that your system is actually like clean and you don't experience those type of things on a regular, right? So these do not actually like cure CHS completely. It's just like for a few hours that you like feel like relief or whatever. So you can transition into the curing age or the recovering phase, you know what I mean? But otherwise, man, let's share our own opinions on this shit, because I told you like before we started this shit that we had our own opinions on the whole thing, because I really don't believe that it is what it is, you know what I mean? So I've had something like CHS. It wasn't really like CHS because I found out that my dealer was actually lacing my weed, so
Damn.
you know what I mean?
We gotta boycott that nigga.
You know what I mean? That was like the cause of what was happening, right? How I found that out is I stopped using his cannabis. I went to buy some new cannabis from a new dealer, right? That shit treated me so well, but I did not experience none of those nauseous abdominal pain, dehydration thingies, you know what I mean?
So you were experiencing those things
I was experiencing that from the other dealer, you know what I mean?
from the fake nigga.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I switched that nigga now, he was another nigga, and I didn't experience those symptoms, right? But after a while, I also found out that nigga actually stopped lacing the weed. And there were so many more people who actually had these symptoms around the area that I was staying in, you know what I mean? People who like use cannabis also on a regular. And they were using the same cannabis, so it was definitely caused by his weed, you know what I mean? So that's how I found out. It actually like decoded the whole thing about what actually was causing it. So my theory is that sometimes, man, this shit could be caused by laced weed, bro. You know what I mean? That's like my theory on it.
I've never had that shit, bro.
You never had it, dog?
No, I don't.
Like, I think you have, bro.
No, I don't.
There was a point where you were, huh?
It was food.
It was food.
Yeah.
It wasn't from weed, bro.
Nah. I've been had that shit.
But man, I really do think it is from that, you know what I
This
mean?
nigga's a roaster when it comes to weed.
Ah, nigga, I ain't no rockstar, man.
This nigga's parties every night, dog.
Nigga's crazy, but I don't do that shit, bro.
You know,
But otherwise, yeah, man. That's the information, bro. That's also our thoughts, our 2 cents on the whole thing, you know what I mean?
I mean, I didn't give anything, so more like 1 cent on it.
So yeah, but that's like, you should make sure that your weed is not laced, bro. And
How can you make sure that your weed is not laced, though? You know?
but you do your own investigation, dog. You know what I
Nigga.
mean? That's how I found out. I did my own investigation and like dug through deep in the trenches and heard from the ground what's happening. You know what I mean?
What did they say, my nigga?
Everybody who was smoking the same way that I was smoking relayed the same message to me. You know what I mean? That I was.
Yeah. So did you boycott the dealer
Yeah, we boycott the nigga for a few months maybe.
for a few minutes?
For a few months, and then nigga saw that now what he's doing is actually not helping his business, and he stopped doing that shit. You know what I mean? Because his weed was already good, bro.
Damn.
There was no reason for him to do all that shit.
I'll never experience that shit. You know? Maybe I'm gonna experience it one day, but I pray that I don't. You know, that's a messed up shit.
It's not good. It's not a good experience.
That's a messed up shit, dog. That's close to death.
It wasn't close to death per se.
Imagine smoking something that you love that's gonna kill you.
I just thought that I had like an appendicitis. That's how it felt like. You know what I mean? That, like symptoms were totally the same, like in every angle, bro. So that's what I thought at the beginning.
Maybe you're wondering what does that word that you just said, appendicitis.
Everybody knows what appendicitis
Yeah,
is.
like, why would you fuck it up? I don't even know what it means.
Do you
But I know
know-
what it means. You know when you eat too much bread or something that's too much. You be constipated.
That's not it.
You be constipated.
It's not it, bro. It's not.
You be constipated.
It's not, bro. Yeah, but that thing is caused by what is it called? What is it called? You get like bacteria growing on your appendix.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And then it
Yeah.
inflames. Yeah, dog.
And then you're in trouble now.
Yeah, and then she starts bursting, bro.
Yeah, you gonna die.
When it bursts, you die, dog. That's some tough shit, bro.
You see, I tell you, dog, it's not a gut feeling, dog. It's not a gut feeling to feel, dog.
Some tough shit, bro, for real.
You know, so I don't want to feel that shit. I pray I don't.
But yeah, that's something, man. Oh yeah, man.
We out in this bitch.
Peace, guys. Thank you for watching the video. You know what I mean? You're nice and geek, man. I hope you enjoyed the content. You know what I mean? And learn something for sure. Peace.
Hey, go ahead, fool.
See me up like it's been